The diminished chord was one of those chords that used to just scare me. I was scared I would hit the wrong notes. And this is because I just never really knew what the diminished chord was. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what the diminished chord is, and hint, it's not what you think it is. By the end of this video, you will be able to use the diminished chord up and down the neck, as well as be able to solo soulfully over diminished chords. So what is a diminished chord exactly? Well, a diminished chord is like a train conductor that takes you from one point to the other. They are mysterious and tense, and they never want you on their train too long. Now, specifically, a diminished chord is made up of 4 notes, each an equal distance apart from each other, each a minor third away from each other. So if we want to construct a diminished chord, I'd start here, go up 3 notes, go up 3 notes, go up 3 notes, and then I could turn it into a chord here. This chord contains all of those notes I just played. Here's where it gets interesting. Conventional teaching says that you have major chords, you have minor chords, you have dominant chords, you have diminished chords, and these diminished chords exist outside of the major, minor, and dominant. And I'm here to tell you that you can lump the diminished chord into the dominant chord. It frees up your brain space, and it allows you to think of the diminished chord as something you're already familiar with, which would be just a dominant chord. And that is just a great way to simplify things. So let's take a look at how to do this in practice. Say we have a G dominant chord. Now I'm going to play the top 4 notes of this chord. In order to get a diminished chord, I would simply raise this top note and go up 1 fret. So it sounds like this. So in essence, this diminished chord belongs to the dominant family, and it just has this one little extra tense note. And here's how it would sound all together. Theory-wise, we are just playing a G dominant with a flat 9 on top. So let's use this in practice. Let's put it into a song so you guys can really understand what I mean and what I'm talking about. Yesterday by the Beatles. Let's just take the first part of this song. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. So we have an F chord, an E minor chord, and an A dominant chord to a D minor chord. Now, here is where things get interesting. Since we have a dominant chord here, this A dominant, we could also play this diminished chord up top, right? Because we are thinking of the diminished chord in the dominant family. So let's hear how that sounds. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Very, very interesting, very soulful. Now the cool thing about this diminished chord is we can move it up in minor thirds. So let's see how this would sound using some of those chordal movements. Notice that you're using the diminished chord to take you from one chord to the other. It's a form of tension, and it really begs to be resolved. That's why the diminished chord, or the conductor of this train, never wants you to stay on too long because it's just so tense. It wants to get you to where you're going because it's just too tense to stay on that train. Now, how would we solo over this diminished chord? Well, let's take a look. Here's a real great way to solo over the diminished chord. You're going to play an arpeggio, a 4-note arpeggio, and you're going to resolve it to the 5 of the next chord. So this is the 5 of the next chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, you can play this. Yesterday, all my... Another great way to solo over this diminished chord soulfully is to resolve to the 3. So it sounds like this. See? This is 1, 2, 3 in the D minor chord. 1, 2, 3. Yesterday, all my troubles. You can play it up the octave as well. And these little arpeggiated forms just transport you, just like a train, from one chord to the other very quickly, because you don't want to stay on that diminished chord too long. It's very, very tense. And there you guys have it. Thank you for watching today's video on soulful guitar lessons. If you're looking to learn more about soulful guitar playing, check out this video or video series. And if you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button.